The smoke was still thick in the air. It smelled like burning rocks and old metal. Gohan stood in the middle of the crater. His purple gi was dusty but not torn. He looked down at his hands. The pink glow of the Super Saiyan Rose was gone, but he could still feel the heat inside his bones. It was a strange heat. It was not like the burning fire of anger he felt when he was a boy fighting Cell. It was a warm, steady heat, like the sun on a summer day. He took a deep breath. The air tasted sweet. He had won. He had protected the earth. He had protected Pan. Beerus the Destroyer walked through the smoke. His footsteps were soft. He did not make a sound. He held a pizza box in one hand. He looked bored, but his eyes were sharp. He looked at Gohan like a cat looks at a mouse. It has not decided to eat yet. Whis walked behind him. Whis was smiling. He tapped his staff on the ground. The sound echoed in the silence. Beerus stopped in front of Gohan. He leaned in close. He sniffed Gohan. He smelled the sweat and the energy. He frowned. He said that Gohan smelled very confusing. He smelled like a Saiyan, which was like a wet dog to Beerus. But he also smelled like a Kai, which was like tea and old books. It was a mix that should not exist. Beerus asked the Gohan if he knew what he had done. Gohan looked at the god of destruction. He did not look down. He looked him in the eye. Gohan said he did what he had to do. He said he found a new path. Beerus narrowed his eyes. He dropped the pizza box. It landed on a rock. He said that mortals are not supposed to have the energy of creation. Gods of destruction destroy. Kais create. Mortals just live and die. Gohan was breaking the rules. Beerus raised a finger. A small ball of purple energy formed on the tip. It buzzed like an angry hornet. Beerus asked if he should destroy Gohan right now before he caused trouble for the universe. Gohan did not move. He did not flinch. He felt a spike of fear, but he pushed it down. He remembered his training. He remembered the ocean. He stayed calm. He told Beerus that he was not a threat to the balance. He was a protector. He said he would use this power to help the universe, not break it. Whis chuckled. He covered his mouth with his hand. He told Beerus to calm down. He said it would be a waste to destroy such an interesting specimen. Whis said that Gohan might be useful for the future. Beerus grunted. He closed his hand, and the energy ball vanished. He picked up his pizza box. He took a slice of pizza. The cheese stretched long and thin. He ate it in one bite. He told Gohan he was lucky the pizza was still hot. If the pizza was cold, he might have blown up the earth. Suddenly, two loud pops were heard in the sky. It was the sound of air rushing in to fill a vacuum. Everyone looked up. Goku and Vegeta appeared. They had used instant transmission to get there. They looked around. They saw the destroyed city. They saw the crater. They saw Bojack lying on the ground, defeated. Goku looked confused. He scratched his head. He asked what they missed. He said they felt a huge energy all the way from Beerus's planet. It felt scary. Vegeta crossed his arms. He looked at Gohan. He looked at the purple GI. He noticed the symbol on the back. It was the Demon Clan symbol. Vegeta smirked. He said it looked like the brat finally decided to be a warrior again. Goku walked up to Gohan. He walked around him. He poked Gohan's arm. He said Gohan felt different. He felt stronger, but it was hard to tell how strong. Goku asked who beat the big green guy. Gohan pointed to himself. He said he did it. Goku's eyes went wide. He smiled his big, goofy smile. He was so happy. He slapped Gohan on the back. It was a hard slap. Gohan stumbled forward a little bit. Goku said that was amazing. He said he wanted to see the power. He wanted to fight Gohan right now. Gohan smiled. He knew this was coming. His father always wanted to fight. It was how he said hello. It was how he said he loved you. Gohan nodded. He said he was ready. He wanted to test his new limits against someone strong, and there was nobody stronger than his dad. Vegeta stepped back. He wanted to watch. He leaned against a broken wall. Beerus sat down on a flat rock to eat his pizza. Whis floated in the air to get a good view. Goku and Gohan flew up into the sky. They went high up above the clouds. The sky was blue now. The smoke was clearing. The sun was shining bright. They hovered in the air, facing each other. Goku stretched his arms. He cracked his neck. He told Gohan not to hold back. He said he would not hold back either. Gohan nodded. He got into his fighting stance. It was a mix of Piccolo's stance and Goku's stance. His hands were open, but his fingers were tense. Goku started in his base form. He did not turn Super Saiyan yet. He wanted to test the waters. He flew at Gohan fast. He threw a punch at Gohan's face. Gohan blocked it with his forearm. The sound was like a thunderclap. The air exploded around them. Gohan did not move back an inch. Goku threw a kick at Gohan's ribs. Gohan caught Goku's leg. He spun Goku around and threw him. Goku stopped himself in the air. He laughed. He said Gohan was strong, very strong. Then Goku turned serious. He shouted. His hair turned yellow. His eyes turned green. A golden aura flared up around him. He was a Super Saiyan. He charged at Gohan again. This time he was much faster. His punches were like machine gun fire. Gohan dodged them. Left, right, down, up. Gohan was moving very efficiently. He was not wasting any movement. He was still in his base form. Goku was surprised. He was a Super Saiyan, but Gohan was keeping up with him in base form. Goku pushed harder. He went Super Saiyan 2. Lightning crackled around his aura. He punched Gohan in the stomach. Gohan felt the pain. It was a sharp pain, but he did not let it stop him. He grabbed Goku's fist. He looked Goku in the eyes. Gohan's eyes flashed with that strange grey color. He punched Goku in the chest. Goku flew back hundreds of feet. He crashed into a cloud. The cloud evaporated instantly. Goku shook his head. He wiped his lip. He was impressed. He shouted that it was time to get serious. Goku began to scream. The sky turned red. Then it turned blue. A blinding blue light covered Goku. The heat was intense. It felt like the core of a star. When the light faded, Goku had blue hair. He had blue eyes. He was a Super Saiyan blue. This was the power of a god. The pressure was immense. The birds in the sky stopped flying and fell down because the air was so heavy. Goku looked at Gohan. He asked if Gohan was going to show his new trick. Gohan nodded. He closed his eyes. He took a deep breath. He remembered the feeling of the rose. He remembered the tranquility. He remembered the love for his family. He pulled the energy from the depths of his soul. It was not violent. It was smooth. A purple flame appeared at Gohan's feet. It spiraled up his body. It was gentle but heavy. It covered him completely. Then, with a sudden burst of wind, the flame solidified. Gohan opened his eyes. They were silver. His hair was pink. The aura was a beautiful mix of violet, pink, and dark red. It looked like flower petals were falling around him made of energy. Goku stared. His mouth opened a little bit. He said the color was pink. He laughed. He said it looked like Black's form, but it felt different. Black's energy felt evil and cold. Gohan's energy felt majestic and calm. It felt like a mountain that could not be moved. Goku got excited. He rubbed his hands together. He said, "Let's go." Goku charged. He was fast, much faster than before. In Super Saiyan Blue, he moved faster than the speed of sound. He punched Gohan. Gohan blocked. The impact created a shockwave that cleared the clouds for miles. The ground below them shook. Buildings in the city crumbled from the vibration alone. Wiz waved his staff and created a barrier around the city to protect the remaining buildings. They fought furiously. Blue and pink lines of light zigzagged across the sky. They clashed again and again. Boom, boom, boom. Every time they hit each other, the sky cracked. Gohan was calm. He could see Goku's movements clearly. Goku was using God Ki. God Ki is about keeping energy inside so it doesn't leak. But Gohan was using Kai Ki. Kai Ki is about connection. Gohan could feel the air moving before Goku punched. He could feel Goku's intent. Goku tried to use instant transmission. He vanished. He appeared behind Gohan. He aimed a kick at Gohan's head, but Gohan was already ducking. Gohan swept his leg and kicked Goku in the side. Goku grunted. He flew sideways. Goku fired a ki blast. Gohan slapped it away. It exploded in the distance like a firework. Goku realized he was not winning. He needed more power. He stopped. He crouched down. He started to chant. Kaioken. A red aura appeared on top of the blue aura. The pressure doubled. Goku's muscles grew larger. His veins popped out. He screamed. Kaioken times 10. Now Goku was a monster of speed. He vanished completely. Gohan could not see him. Gohan got hit in the face, then in the back, then in the stomach. Goku was too fast. Gohan was being tossed around like a rag doll. He felt pain everywhere. His purple guy was getting torn. He tasted blood, but he did not panic. He remembered the old Kai's words. Do not chase the speed. Be the center. Be the stillness. Gohan stopped trying to look with his eyes. He closed them. He sensed the disturbance in the universe. He felt Goku coming from above. Gohan raised his hand. He caught Goku's punch. The force was incredible. It pushed Gohan down towards the earth. They fell like a meteor. They crashed into the wasteland outside the city. A massive crater formed. Dust rose up like a mountain. In the bottom of the crater, Gohan was still holding Goku's fist. Goku was straining. He was sweating. The red Kaioken aura was flickering. It was draining his stamina. Gohan opened his eyes. The pink aura flared up. It turned darker. It became dense. Gohan pushed back. He slowly stood up, forcing Goku back. Gohan said that power without control is just waste. He said Goku was leaking energy. Gohan was efficient. Gohan punched Goku in the gut. It was a short punch. It did not look hard, but it was filled with the heavy, dense energy of the Kais. The air was forced out of Goku's lungs. His eyes went white for a second. The blue and red aura vanished. Goku fell to his knees. He gagged. He clutched his stomach. He tried to stand up, but his legs were wobbly. He looked up at Gohan. He smiled a painful smile. He said he gave up. He said Gohan was the winner. Gohan powered down. His hair turned black. He reached out his hand. Goku took it. Gohan pulled his father up. Goku leaned on Gohan. He said he was proud. He said Gohan had finally done it. He had surpassed him. Vegeta watched from the cliff. He did not say anything. He just huffed and turned his head away. But inside, Vegeta was furious. He was also inspired. He promised himself he would train harder. He would not let Kakarot's son be the strongest. They flew back to the group. Videl was there now. She had flown in with Mr. Satan's jet. She ran to Gohan. She hugged him. She didn't care that he was sweaty and dirty. She checked him for injuries. Gohan told her he was fine. Pan was in Videl's arms. She reached for Gohan. Gohan took her. She pulled on his messy hair. She laughed. Gohan kissed her forehead. This was what he fought for. This peace. Beerus finished his pizza. He stood up. He dusted off his pants. He looked at Gohan. He said the fight was passable. He said Gohan had potential, but he warned him again. This power was noticed. The energy of the fight had traveled far. Other gods would feel it. The Grand Priest would feel it. Gohan had to be ready for consequences. Whis looked at his staff. The orb on top of the staff was glowing. Whis tapped it. A hologram appeared. It was the Grand Priest. He looked small and friendly, but everyone knew he was the most dangerous being in the universe besides Zeno. The Grand Priest smiled. He said greetings to Universe 7. He said he had sensed a very unique disturbance. He asked Whis to bring the source of the disturbance to the palace of Zeno immediately. Goku got excited. He loved seeing Zeno. Beerus looked terrified. He turned pale. He grabbed his ears. He started pacing back and forth. He yelled that he knew it. He knew they were in trouble. He blamed Goku. He blamed Gohan. He blamed the pizza. He told Gohan to clean himself up. They had to go now. You cannot keep the Grand Priest waiting. Gohan felt nervous. He had never met the Grand Priest. He had heard stories. He handed Pan back to Videl. He told her he had to go. Videl looked worried. She asked if he would come back. Gohan nodded. He said he always comes back. He kissed her again. He flew over to Whis. Goku came too. Vegeta wanted to come, but Beerus said no. Too many people would be annoying. Vegeta was angry, but he stayed behind. Whis tapped his staff. A cube of energy surrounded Gohan, Goku, Beerus, and Whis. They shot up into space. They traveled faster than light. The stars blurred into lines. Gohan watched the universe pass by. He felt small. He was strong now, but the universe was so big. There were so many things he did not know. They arrived at the world of the void. The palace of Zeno floated there. It was shaped like the character for all. It was huge. They landed on the platform. The Grand Priest was waiting for them. He had his hands behind his back. He smiled. He looked at Gohan. His eyes seemed to see through Gohan's skin, through his muscles, right into his soul. The Grand Priest welcomed them. He said he was curious to meet the mortal who carried the essence of the Supreme Kai. He walked up to Gohan. He circled him. He said it was a rare occurrence. Usually, mortal bodies explode when filled with Divine Kai energy. Gohan was an anomaly. The Grand Priest asked Gohan to show him the form. Gohan looked at Beerus. Beerus nodded frantically, sweating buckets. Gohan took a deep breath. He transformed. The pink hair, the silver eyes, the violet aura. The pressure filled the void. The Grand Priest watched. He did not blink. He nodded slowly. He said it was elegant. He said it was called Super Saiyan Rose by a rogue Kai in the future. But this version was pure. It was not stolen. It was earned. Suddenly, two small figures floated down. It was the two Zenos. They were playing tag. They stopped when they saw the pink light. They floated over. They looked at Gohan. They said, "Ooh" and "Ah." They asked if Gohan was strong. Goku jumped in. He said, "Yes, Gohan is very strong. He is my son." The Zenos clapped. They like strong things. They asked if Gohan could fight for them. The Grand Priest interrupted gently. He said there was a reason he called them. It was not just for a show. He said that by unlocking this form, Gohan had tipped the scales of balance. There were ancient laws. Mortals stay mortals. Gods stay gods. When the lines blur, chaos wakes up. He pointed to a large viewing crystal in the palace. The crystal showed an image of a dark sector of the universe. It was a place where no stars shone. It was a graveyard of dead galaxies. In the middle of the darkness, something was moving. It was a giant shadow. It looked like a dragon, but it was made of smoke and purple fire. It had red eyes that glowed in the dark. the Grand Priest explained. This was an ancient entity known as the Eater of Divinity. It was a beast that hunted gods long ago. It was sealed away by the original angels millions of years ago. It sleeps deep in the void, but it feeds on divine energy. Specifically, it feeds on unrefined, raw divine energy, like the energy Gohan was emitting. Because Gohan was new to this power, his energy was like a beacon in the dark. It woke the beast up. Beerus looked horrified. He asked if the seal was broken. The Grand Priest said not yet, but the beast was stirring. It was pushing against the bars of its cage. If Gohan continued to use this power on Earth, the beast would break free. And if it broke free, it would come for Gohan. And it would eat the Earth to get to him. Gohan felt a cold chill. He had tried to get strong to protect the Earth, but now his strength was putting the Earth in danger. He asked what he should do. Should he stop using the form? The Grand Priest shook his head. He said it was too late. The connection was made. The beast had his scent. The only way to save the Earth was to destroy the beast. Goku cracked his knuckles. He said that sounded like a job for them. He asked where the beast was. The Grand Priest smiled. He said he liked Goku's spirit, but this beast was not something that they could just punch. It existed in a dimension between dimensions. They would need to travel there, and they would need a guide. The Grand Priest snapped his fingers. A door opened in the side of the palace. A figure walked out. It was a tall, green-skinned man. He wore clothes like a Kai, but they were black and silver. He had white hair and a monocle. He looked very serious. The Grand Priest introduced him as Merus. Goku looked confused. He said he knew Merus. Merus was a galactic patrolman, but this Merus looked different. He looked older, more divine, the Grand Priest explained. This was Merus before he became a mortal. This was Merus the angel in training. But wait, that didn't make sense. Merus was erased. The Grand Priest explained that time in the divine realm is not linear. This was a projection of Merus, a guide construct created for this specific mission. Merus bowed. He said he would guide Gohan and Goku to the shadow dimension. But he warned them. The shadow dimension drains the energy of mortals. If they stayed there too long, they would die. And the beast, the Eater of Divinity, gets stronger every second Gohan is near it. Gohan would have to learn to control his energy perfectly. He could not leak a single drop. If he leaked energy, the beast would eat it and heal. Gohan looked at his hands. This was the ultimate test of control. He had to fight a monster while holding his power inside a bottle. Beerus said he would not go. Destroyers were not allowed in the shadow dimension. It was a place of antimatter. It would react badly with destruction energy. So it was up to Goku and Gohan. They prepared to leave. Whis gave them a small device. It was a button. He said if things got too dangerous, press the button. It would pull them back instantly. But they only had one button. They had to stay together. Gohan took the button. He put it in his pocket. He looked at Goku. Goku gave him a thumbs up. Merus opened a portal. It looked like a tear in reality. Inside, it was swirling grey mist. Gohan stepped forward. He felt the weight of the universe on his shoulders again. He thought of Pan. He thought of Videl. He would not let this shadow monster come to his home. He would kill it here, in the dark. They stepped through the portal. The air on the other side was cold, freezing cold. There was no ground, just floating rocks. The sky was a swirling vortex of black and grey. In the distance they heard a roar. It was a sound that vibrated in their bones. It sounded like a million voices screaming at once. Merus flew ahead. He told them to follow close. They flew through the mist. Suddenly, shadows lashed out at them. The shadows had claws. Goku dodged. He tried to punch one. His fist went right through it. Meras shouted that physical attacks do not work on shadows. They had to use energy, but they had to be careful not to use too much. Gohan focused. He coated his fist in a thin layer of rose energy. He punched a shadow. The shadow sizzled and dissolved. It worked, but Gohan felt a tug on his energy. The environment was trying to suck him dry. He had to clamp down on his aura. He had to keep it tight to his skin. They flew deeper. The roar got louder. Then they saw it. The Eater of Divinity. It was massive. It was the size of a planet. It was coiled around a dying star. Its scales were made of darkness. Its eyes were two red suns. It saw Gohan. It hissed. The sound shattered the nearby rocks. It uncoiled itself. It lunged at them. Its mouth opened, revealing rows of teeth made of black crystals. Goku went Super Saiyan Blue. He fired a Kamehameha. The beast simply opened its mouth and ate the beam. It swallowed Goku's energy. It glowed brighter. It grew bigger. Meras shouted at Goku to stop. Feeding it energy only makes it stronger. They had to strike its core. The core was located in its forehead, a black gem. They had to break the gem without feeding the beast. It seemed impossible. How do you break something with energy if the thing eats energy? Gohan realized something. The beast ate projected energy, beams, blasts. But what if the energy was solid? What if the energy was compressed so hard it became like physical matter? Gohan looked at the beast. He had an idea. He told Goku to distract it. Goku nodded. He used his speed. He flew around the beast's head like a mosquito. The beast snapped at him. It tried to bite him. Goku was too fast. While the beast was distracted, Gohan flew up, high up, above the beast. Gohan closed his eyes. He gathered his rose energy. He did not let it flow out. He pulled it in. He pulled it into his right leg. He compressed it. He squeezed it. The energy became so dense it turned black. It was a heavy, dark gravity. Gohan began to fall. He fell towards the beast's forehead. He was a missile of divine weight. The beast looked up. It saw Gohan coming. It opened its mouth to eat him. Gohan shouted. He spun his body. He delivered a massive axe kick, but he did not aim for the mouth. He aimed for the gem on the forehead. Crack! Gohan's heel connected with the black gem. The impact created a shockwave that blew away the grey mist for light years. The beast screamed. The gem cracked, but it did not break. The beast was tough. It whipped its tail around. It hit Gohan. Gohan flew back. He crashed into a floating asteroid. The asteroid shattered. Gohan lay in the debris. He was hurt. His leg felt broken. The beast was angry now. It ignored Goku. It focused entirely on Gohan. It charged a ball of black energy in its mouth. It was going to erase Gohan. Goku screamed Gohan's name. He tried to fly over, but a swarm of shadow minions blocked his path. Gohan looked at the black energy ball. It was huge. He could not dodge. He was too injured. Was this it? Was this the end? No. He heard a voice. It was Piccolo's voice in his head. Dodge? No, not that. It was another voice. It was his own voice. You are the beast. You do not fear the dark. You own the dark. Gohan stood up on his broken leg. He ignored the pain. He looked at the black energy. He did not power up. He did not scream. He simply raised his hand. He opened his palm. He visualized the energy of the beast. It was just energy, and he was a master of energy. The beast fired the blast. The black beam raced towards Gohan. Gohan did not block. He caught it. He caught the beam with his bare hand. The energy burned his skin. It tried to eat him. But Gohan pushed his own rose energy into the beam. He infected the black energy with his pink energy. He took control of it. With a roar of effort, Gohan spun around. He redirected the beast's own attack. He threw the black beam back at the beast. The beast was surprised. It could not dodge its own speed. The beam hit the crack in the gem. Shatter. The gem exploded into 1,000,000 pieces. The beast froze. Its red eyes flickered. Then it began to dissolve. The darkness turned into smoke. The smoke faded away. The beast was gone. Gohan fell to his knees. He was exhausted. Meris flew over. He looked impressed. He said he had never seen a mortal redirect the energy of a void beast. It was a technique that even angels found difficult. Gohan had adapted instantly. Goku flew over. He was covered in scratches from the shadow minions. He helped Gohan up. He gave him a senzu bean. He had hidden a few in his belt. Gohan ate the bean. His leg healed. His energy returned. Meris opened the portal back to Zeno's palace. They stepped through. They were back in the bright world of the gods. The Grand Priest clapped. The Xenos clapped. Beerus fell to the floor in relief. He was crying tears of joy that he wasn't erased. The Grand Priest told Gohan that he had passed the test. He had proven that he could handle the responsibility of his power. He said Gohan was free to go. But he gave Gohan a warning. He said the beast was just a symptom. The real disease was still out there. By awakening the divine beast form, Gohan had lit a fire in the dark. Others would see it. Others who were jealous of the gods. Gohan nodded. He understood. He was ready. They said their goodbyes, which transported them back to Earth. Back on Earth, it was night again. They landed at Gohan's house. Videl was waiting. She had dinner ready. Goku stayed for dinner. He ate everything. Gohan sat at the table. He looked at his family. He looked at his hands. He had survived the void. He had defeated the shadow. But as he looked out the window, he saw a shooting star. It was red. It was not a normal star. It was a spaceship, and it was landing on the other side of the world. Gohan felt a familiar energy. It was cold. It was metallic. It was the energy of the Frieza force. But Frieza was dead. Who was this? In the crater of the spaceship landing site, a metal door opened. A ramp extended. A foot stepped out. It was a purple foot with 3 toes. Then a tail. Then a face. It looked like Frieza, but taller, more armored. He wore a mask over his mouth. His eyes were red. It was cooler, but he was not alone. Behind him, an army of robots marched out. These were not normal robots. They were made of a strange liquid metal. The big Gete star had returned, and it had merged with Cooler. Metal Cooler was here, and he had come for the Saiyan who killed his brother. Cooler looked at his scouter. It picked up a high-power reading. He smiled beneath his mask. "Found you, monkey," he whispered. Gohan stood up from the dinner table. He dropped his fork. He sensed it. The nightmare was not over. It was just changing shape. This is not the end. The battle for Earth continues in the next episode.